song Candida established Don before Tony Orlando even put his name on the marquee, and the song won half the battle, and the voice did the rest. Hey, it's Michael Douglas. Welcome back to another edition of Dr. Pundit's Soundbite. And Tony Orlando and Don. The band enjoyed a stretch of enormous pop music success in the 1970s, buoyed by Orlando's easygoing charm and soulful support of backing vocalists Thelma Hopkins and Joyce Vincent Wilson. Their easygoing hits consistently hit the charts in the early 1970s. But none of that might have occurred had Orlando reluctantly agreed to sing the song Candida in 1970. And even then, he did so without originally taking any credit for it. Tony Orlando was just killing it in the music industry. And as the 60s were coming to a close, not only he was doing it behind the scenes as an executive for Columbia Records, kind of a devil in disguise kind of thing, doing one job and kind of reaping the benefits on another, though not intentionally. I think he was really doing it because he loved doing it, and he was good at doing it, talented. Orlando had already enjoyed a taste of the pop spotlight, but he had thought that his time as a performer had mostly passed. Back in the early 1960s, say 8 to 10 years earlier, Orlando enjoyed a few hits as the lead singer of the doo-wop group The Five Gents, but as the genre faded a bit, pretty much from 58 to 62, he moved on to working with other artists as a producer and a writer. Eventually, he was one of the Suits' developing acts, with a young Barry Manilow actually being one of his prominent early discoveries. But in 1969, fate came calling and guided Orlando back behind the microphone. This is an era when songs would be composed by ace writers before an artist was even involved. So it was that Irwin Levine and Tony Wine wrote the song Candida. A demo was produced, but producers Dave Apple and Hank Medress really weren't thrilled with the vocals. That's when they thought of their friend Tony Orlando. Orlando agreed to sing the demo to Candida as a favor, but he didn't think it would go any further than that. However, all involved agreed that his vocals brought the song to life. And why go out looking for a singer when Orlando had already delivered the goods and then some? I mean, the song was already written, the factory churning had begun, they just need to find the right voice. But first, they had to convince Tony Orlando. The producers were planning on releasing it on Bell Records, and Orlando worried that his bosses at Columbia Records wouldn't like that he was recording for a competing label. He agreed to let the song out if an alias was used. Makes sense. The producers came up with the name Dawn. Candida came out in 1970 and shot to number 3 on the pop charts in America, and after the follow-up single, Knock 3 Times, hit number 1, Orlando finally accepted that he had a lucrative singing career out in front of him. And the band became Tony Orlando and Don. Hopkins and Wilson, who didn't sing on the first 2 hits, were then hired to become permanent members of Dawn so that they could start performing live. Gives you the sense of the mechanics of these early 70s songs that were searching for an artist by the record label. So the lyrics of Candida. Candida tells the story of an ordinary guy trying to woo the titular character with promises of a bright future. He starts off by sweet-talking her. The stars won't come out if they know what you're about, 'cause they couldn't match the glow of your eyes. He then tries to convince her with a gypsy's predictions. Said she saw her children playing in the sunshine. And in the refrains, he pleads for her to run away with him to more bucolic environs and trust in the unknown. I promise life will be sweeter, and it said so in my dreams. The song Candida established Dawn before Tony Orlando even put his name on the marquee, and the song won half the battle, and the voice did the rest. A lot of people seem to think that Tony Orlando and Dawn was kind of the genesis of that group, was like he was always part of the group but became the face of the group. So think of the Supremes, Diana Ross and the Supremes, that kind of thing. But it wasn't like that. This was a story of how Tony Orlando kind of back-ended to become the front person for one of the biggest acts of the early 1970s. I'm Michael Douglas. If you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And as a late great Barry White always used to say, let the music play. And I'll see you on the next episode.